What's up guys, Alex is here, GuitarForce.com. Today we're going to break down Deny You by Obituary, another supported request by At All, so thank you very much, man. The tabs for this lesson are going to be available at GuitarForce.com for free. Just go to the video and under the video you will see tabs, click on it and that's it. Now unfortunately I couldn't find the backing track for this song, so we're just going to have pure guitar without the drums and bass. The only part I could find is for the solo, and we're going to break down the solo in this lesson as well. As far as the sound, again I was using Guitar Rig, the VST plugin Guitar Rig with the preset. As usual, I'm going to post a picture of it on the screen for you to see. The tuning for this song is D standard, so we have to drop down all the strings one whole step. And while you are checking out the picture for the preset, here is my low E if you would like to tune up. So here it is. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's go for the close-up and start the lesson. Alright, so the intro riff goes like this. Okay, so what we have here is we alternate the E power chord at the 7th position with low E string open as well, and we alternate that with the chugs on the low E string for 16th notes. Okay, and actually if you include the open A string, that would be alright as well. Okay, so to create this typical Obituary sound. So like I said, we alternate between the E power chord with the low E and A strings chugs 4 times, 4 16th notes. And we do it for 4 times, and then we have a little transition, which the first time guitar number 1 does that. So what we do, we fret the 5th fret of the low E and the A string, and then hit it, and then hammer onto the 7th fret of the A string, so that's creating the A chord, A power chord. So he goes like that 2 times, and he does that only the first time, guitar number 1, and guitar number 2 actually is playing a little bit differently. So he plays, okay, so we have here a rest, then we play the A chord, then again another rest for 16th notes, and then again playing the A power chord. So instead of, he plays like that. And in the tablature you will see that I've outlined the first note as the just the dead strings. So you can play the dead string, or you can just play on the offbeat. Alright, and if you listen a couple of times to this rhythmical figure, I'm sure you're gonna get it, so it doesn't have to get so technical. It's just the, like I said, the rest, power chord, another rest, and another power chord. So we alternate that with the A power chord. So that's pretty much the intro riff, and then we go into the verses, first 2 verses, which include 2 riffs, and the first riff is exactly the same as the intro, with the exception of, again, we have another variation here that the first guitar is playing. So now instead of playing just the E power chord, he would play this typical Obituary chord, include the 5th in the bass. So we still have the E power chord, and we include like I said, the 5th in the bass. So we fret the B notes at the 7th fret of the low E string as well. So we have these. Okay, so nothing changes, we still play that, or you can play these notes right here because they are the same, and then include the low E as well. So we technically will have the E power chord. Okay, like that. But if you play it here, it's just easier to transition to the A chord afterwards. So that's the first riff of the verse, and we play this for 2 times, and the second time, before we go to the second riff, we have a little transition which goes like this. So now we play just adding these 2 chords, which are the A power chord going to G power chord. Okay, and then we go into the second riff of the verse, which goes like this. So here we're playing chugs on the low E string, open low E string. Then we play, so again we have 4/16 notes. Then we play E power chord, 2 chugs on the low E, go into D, 2 chugs on the low E, and then we play these 3 chords, which are A to B to A. Okay, then we play another 4 chugs on the low E string. Then we have E power chord, 2 chugs on the low E to D. Leave it for 2 bars. So this rhythm, I mean, this variation plays guitar number 2. Guitar number 1 again includes these Obituary typical chords for the E and the D. So again, we're going to have on the low E string, including the 7th fret and also the 5th. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so like I said, exactly the same thing, but we're just adding these 5th in the bass to create this heavier sound. There is also another little fills that guitar number 1 does while playing the second riff of the second verse, which is okay, so here we just add in some harmonics, and these harmonics are located at the, you can play them at the 7th fret of the A, D and the G strings, or you can play the same harmonics, the same pitch are going to be on the 5th fret, but we start with the lowest string, so on E, A and D. Same harmonics, you know, whichever way is more comfortable to you, use that. So that's the first fill. And the second time, as you can see, we use a dive bomb on the low E string. Just open low E and dive bomb with the whammy bar. Alright? So we play these 2 riffs, let's call them the verses, riffs in the verses, and we play that 2 times, so we have basically 2 verses. And then after that we go into what I call sort of a middle riff, which goes like this. Okay, so here we have again these chords with the 5th in the bass, and this time we just alternate the E with the F sharp, with the F. Okay, and we have some chugs in between on the low E string between these 2 chords. So the first one, E to F, then we play, so E to F to E, then we have 4 chugs palm muted on the low E string, then we repeat the first part again, and here we add 2 chugs on the low E string, and then we go F, E, F, and then again adding 4 chugs on the low E string. All right, so this is the middle riff. They play it for 2 times, and then after that they go into the verse again, but this time they just play the first riff, which is. Alright, so they play just this riff, and after that they go again for the middle riff. And there is another variation of this riff, which is the faster part, which goes like this. So it's practically the same thing, but without the chugs on the low E string, and also we play just 16th notes. And rhythmically, if you look at it, as the timing wise, you know, it's exactly the same as if we would play the chords. So for the 1 beat we stay on the E, and then we go to B for 1 beat, and then, you know, make the transition again as we would do with chords and so on. So this is not too complicated, and actually there are the guitars are playing on the low E string 7 to 8 fret, right, between these 2 frets, but there is another guitar, the second guitar, which is playing on the A string going between 7 and 8, so in exactly the same time-wise rhythm. Okay, so it's, again, they're playing in fourths, but the lower string is more pronounced, okay? And you can play these double stops together if you are capable of, you know, just playing 16th notes on 2 strings. You know, that sort of thing. So we play this riff for 2 times, I think, and then we go back to the verse, which we play the second riff. Okay, so we have this. And here, and we have a little break. The first guitar is playing the riff, while the second guitar and the drums, they come in on when they play the just the power chords. Okay, so just listen to the original track and you'll be able to spot where and how they do that. And then both of the guitars and the drums just playing the same riff, exactly the same as we've covered before. So it's only the second riff from the verse. And after that we go for the solo. Now for the solo, the rhythm guitar is playing the middle riff. Okay, so it's with the chords, and then we include the variation, which is the fast part. Okay, so it's exactly the same thing. And the last riff of the solo is playing another riff, which is going to be riff number 4, and it goes like this. So here we play power chords, starting from G to G sharp to F. Then we have E, F, G sharp to G. Okay, so that's how the solo ends, with this riff. And then they continue to play this riff number 4, but again, slightly different. And I mean, they play just 16th notes, tremolo picking, and instead of playing the power chords, we just play on the low E string the same notes. So we go from G to G sharp. Okay, and in the end again they play. So we play this riff number 4, and then we go back to the intro riff. It's exactly the same. After that we go into the last verse, and again we are playing both of the riffs. And actually when we play the second riff, there is a couple of fills that they do, and let me show you how it goes. So the second riff, so when they go to this D chord, the last one, the second guitar is adding this fill. So what we do here, we play, right before we go to the D chord, we play octaves, and we start with the D octave. So on the A string we're going to have the 5th fret, and on the G 7th, and we hit it once, then hit it second time and slide to the next octave, which is going to be an E, so 2 frets up. Then we hit it again, slide to the F sharp. Same thing, hit it again, slide up just 1 fret to the G, and then again hit it one more time and slide it to the A. Okay, so that's the first fill, and then second fill is going to be so here we kind of go downwards and we start from the G, so 10th fret on A, 12 on G, hit it 2 times, slide down 1 fret to F sharp, hit it one more time, and go down to the D octave. Okay, so that's the second fill. So after that we go back to riff number 4 and we play the fast version of it. Right, and then we end the song with the power chords. And at the same time the second guitar is playing just some notes which are 2 octaves higher. So the same notes as the root notes of the power chords, so G to G sharp to F, E, F, G sharp to E. Alright, and that's how we finish the song. Alright, so now on to the solo. Okay, so before we start breaking down the solo, I'd just like to mention a couple of things regarding these very fast licks, especially in the first part of the solo. You know, because of the very fast playing and also palm muted on the lower strings, you can't actually hear exact notes very well. So what I did here, I just came up with some patterns that fit for this part, and you know, in this kind of solos you want to go for an effect rather than playing note for note, and as long as you hit the right notes at the right time at the right places, you're going to be fine. So that's what I did here, and it's besides that it's just, you know, patterns. So the solo starts off with these notes, which are actually following the rhythm guitar as it plays the chords. Okay, so that's what we do. And then we have a transition to get to the next note. Okay, so what I did here, I just played patterns, and the first one goes like this. It's in thirds or sextuplets, so we go. Okay, So these two notes are being played, the first ones are being played on the A strings between 7th and 8th fret. Then we include the pattern, which I start off from the low E string at the 10th fret, and we go 10, then we go onto the A string going 7, 8. Then we go 7, 8, 10 on A. Then we shift position and we play, it's going to be 8, 10, 12. And then we get to the next note. Okay, so here again we play on the D string between 9 and 10 fret. Alright, and again we kind of follow the chords. Then the next pattern, we start with the A string, 12th fret, and we go 12 onto the D, 9, 10. Then we play 9, 10, 12. Then we again shift position and we play 10, 12, 14. And then we hit these notes on the G string, which is at the 9th fret. Again we follow the chords, and then after that we go. So here we start from the 12th fret on the D string, then we go to G, playing 9, 10, then we play 9, 10, 12, and then we go onto the B string, and we play 10, 12, 13 to the 12th fret. And then again we repeat the same kind of idea as we did with the other notes that are following the chords. So we play 12, 13, 12. Okay, and then the next pattern is going to be, so we play on the B string 10, 12, 13, going to E, 10, 12, 13, going back to 12, 10, to B string 13, 12. Okay, so when we put together slowly, okay, so that is being played slowly, and like I said, just go for an effect. If you want to follow the same notes, that's fine. So after that, the next phrase is going like this. So here what we do, we're going to be alternating some of the notes on the high E string with an open high E string. And we start off with 13. And you can do pull-offs, or you can include, picking kind of fast with your picking hand while hitting the notes at the correct timing. Okay, so we have, so we go 13, 12, and I'm just going to call out these notes that you want to fret. The rest is played alternated with the open low high E string. So again, from the beginning we go 13, 12, 10, then we go back to 12, then we go to 8, and these two notes are going faster, so from 8 to 10 again. And we do it 2 times. Then we go to 7, 8, then we go to 5, 7, and then the last few notes are going to be 4, 5, 4, it's a hammer-on pull-off, then onto the B string, 6th fret, hold on to it for a while, and then we have, so a little bend on the 5th fret of the B string, and then 3rd fret of the B, and also include some pinch harmonic. Like that. Okay, so that's played slowly. Of course, you want to speed it up after you get used to it. Okay, next part is going to be including some sweep arpeggios, and goes like this slowly. So here we start off with the diminished, which starts off on the B note, and we go on the A string 14th fret, then onto the D 15, then we go to G 13, pull off on the G string from 16 to 13, back to 15 on the D string. Okay, so that's the first pattern. Then we have, so again we just continue the pattern of the diminished arpeggio. So again we have hammer on from 13 to 16 on the G string, and then we play 15 on B, 13 on high E, back to B string 13th fret, back to 16th fret on the G, and then again back to a 15th fret of the B string. So all together slowly. Okay, and then we have, sorry, one more time. So here we have a pull off on the high E string from 17 to 13, playing 15 on the B string, and then we have a slide on the high E string from 17 to 19, and pick it 2 more times. Like that. So one more time slowly, the whole pattern. So the last phrase of the solo goes like this. So here we start off from the 17th fret of the B string, then we play 16 on high E, then we play 17 to 18 on B, and then we have 15 to 17 hammer on B string, pull off, and then we slide down to 13th fret, and then hammer on onto 15, pull off to 13 and slide down to 12th fret. And then we go down, we go onto the G string, we play 14 to 13, and we add a trill between 13 and 14. So. Okay, so that's the whole solo slowly. Alright, so right after the solo, where the rhythm guitar is playing riff number 4, which goes. The solo guitar is playing this melody. So obviously, you know, just playing the same thing but 2 octaves higher, and playing just single notes. And I'm playing them right here in this area because it's easier, you know, coming out of the solo, so you don't have to switch positions. So I'm playing just on the G string, going from 12 to 13 to 10, then 9, 10, 13, 12. So one more time. Okay. Alright, so here's the whole solo very slowly. Alright guys, that's it for this lesson. Hope you liked it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up button Also comment, share, subscribe. And don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar related stuff. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, peace, and as always, let the force be with you.